everyone. Welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting in the first cash or trash of 2022. This is the stream, if you're new to my channel, where I look at this week's hot books and make predictions sure to go wrong. There's the kitty making an appearance already in 2022. Yeah, so if you watch my videos on the look back videos that I do on Saturdays, that's where I look back at these two lists, the CBSI Hot Top 10 and the Comic Tom Key Collector Hottest Trending Comics of the Week from 6 months ago. We see how they did. We react. And this is the one where I make predictions. And the cat changed the color of the video there for a second, which was really kind of weird. So we got a few people in here. We had Unruly in here tailgating, and he is already back. Welcome, my friend. Missed you last night, but glad to see you today. Mr. Randman, what is going on? Ian, welcome. Happy New Year to you. MTY Ray, what is going on? The Black Knight is in the house again, as always here. I appreciate it. Empire Comics, what is going on? Trash Fire, I tells you, yeah, there might be some trash fires. Seems to be quite a bit of that. Jeezy Cheesy, what is going on? Mojo is in the house. Welcome. And Chris Creative, that appears to be everybody so far, but as soon as I stop clicking on them, there we'll get some more. But hey, it's more people come in. And there we go. Dreadnox for life. Happy New Year, all. Happy New Year to you, sir. So this is the show where I make my predictions, and I try to base it off what I've learned from doing the look back. Am I right all the time? No. Do I get the direction more than the magnitude of a way a book's going to go right the vast majority of the time? Yes. I usually get the direction right, not always how much they're going to move in a direction. But obviously I'm wrong on a lot of these books, and if I was right all the time, then I would have a lot more money and a lot more books. So there you go. Comic Ozzy, what is going on? I'm glad you finally got to make it live. I appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Dre, welcome. So if you are a first timer, this is what we do is we look at those books. This week we got 18 books between the two lists that they talked about. We look at those books and I throw them into categories of what I think is going to happen over the next 6 months. Not long term, although occasionally I will make comments about the difference between I think long term. This is over the next 6 months to a year. What do we think the immediate future is going to hold for these quote unquote hot books of the moment? And I put them into categories. I got straight cash homie books I think are going to continue to climb in value. We got scroll down here, worth it books that I think, that's probably it's probably worth it. It's probably worth that value. Keep going. It's going to stay right around where it's at right now. Maybe a little bit up, but not dramatically one direction or another. Probably up if it goes in a way. We got the I'll Be Backs, kind of the opposite of the worth it. Down just slightly, probably. You're going to stay around this value, but if you're smart, you can probably get a bargain over the next 6 months and look for a good deal. We got the It's a Trap. These are books that are going to decrease significantly. Usually I'm talking 20 to 50 to 60% kind of thing. Like this is, a major drop back in the current prices of the book, or just a book that the sales are going to drop off so much that nobody's even looking for these. You can get them for probably $1 if you're really patient or whatever. Beyond that, we have, come on, man. These are ones, usually I reserve this more for just why are we even thinking this is something we should be chasing? More so than the actual value change I expect to see. But and then finally, of course, we got our dumpster fires. These are books that are going to drop almost every week. When I do the look back, I have the biggest drop of the week is 75 to 90% in value, literally 70 to 80 something. And so we have one of these almost every week. I don't always predict one of these. I probably should, but I don't always do it. So those are the categories we put the books into. We got a few more people that have hopped in here. Rev 20, what is going on? He's talking about one of the books already. We will get to Miracle Man in a little bit. Mr. Randman, books dropped faster than Times Square's new Steve Ball. This is correct. Is that an animal in the box on the worth it? Like, no, he just ate a whole bunch. I don't know. I need a better worth it slice. The only existing meme I found the day I was looking for them. And like, yeah, it gorged itself on, pastries, and it was just taking a nap. So it was worth it. Totally worth it to eat all those pastries. That's what I'm going with. I need to find a better worth it slide. I fully admit it. I'm going to guess from Unruly, there's 18 books. I'm going to guess 17 myths from Unruly. 17. That's what I'm going with. So, yeah. We got D-Runk hanging out. He just posted a new video this morning, which I actually have not had a chance to go back and watch yet. Probably going to do that after the stream, but before the Chiefs game, try to squeeze it in there. But yeah, D-Runk posted his first video for a while, so you should go check it out. I think it's his recap of 2021, so there you go. And we got Reverse Amoeba. What's going on? Welcome. All right, so without further ado, we're 6 minutes in, and I haven't talked about a book yet. I'm getting random text messages that I'm going to ignore. And let's see what we got. First up, we have the Matrix comic book preview from 1999 before the first movie. This was supposed to come out at theaters with the release of the movie. It ended up getting recalled because it was too violent. But this is hitting the list because obviously the new movie just came out. Raw copies are up to $35. The 9.8 hit 675. The movie has been mixed reviewed, to put it mildly, but does anybody think any of this momentum on the Matrix is going to continue beyond the next couple of weeks or month or two at the most? We haven't had a Matrix movie in almost 20 years. We got one. It didn't do well at the box office. I think we're getting another one. I feel like this is very self-explanatory. I would talk about the worst time in 20 years to buy a Matrix comic book. And actually, right now it's probably better than 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it's just no reason to go after this for sure. Let's see. The movie was so bad. I've either heard it was awful or it was great, and I really haven't heard anything in between, and I've heard more awfuls. Yeah, there's just no way. I don't know that it's trash. I think there's some nostalgia for the original Matrix that it keeps this book with some value. It's just not going to have this value, for sure. So there you go. Next, we got one of the two books that made both lists this week. This is Timeless #1. So, stop. What? Yes, I know my bill. What? Stupid phone company texting me, hey, your bill's ready. Yeah, duh. So anyway, this is Timeless #1. This is the first appearance of Miss Minutes on the cover. This is not an incentive cover. She does not appear in the book. This is just a cover with her the first time she's on there. Yes, D-Rug is correct on the Matrix thing. And we got 2 minutes already. So we're 2 for 2 on really with a mint. So the one thing that's going for this is people didn't know this cover. They held this cover back. You didn't know what was going to be on this cover until right before FOC, so people did not see this. Wasn't necessarily, there was a bunch of variants for this. So this one was not necessarily highly ordered. It's going 15 to 30 plus. If you're getting it on the 15 to 20 side, I would say you're probably okay. Longer term. If you're getting it on the 30 to 40 side, you're spending way too much, in my opinion. We'll see how much Miss Minutes actually matters. It's a clock. This is a man, but because it's not going for crazy thing, and I expect it to hold a little bit of value because people love the show. Like I said, the lower end, I'll be back. The 15-ish bucks, 15, 20-ish, which is where some of the sales are, you're probably doing okay. If you're paying 30 plus, you're making a mistake, in my opinion. Hey, Sam, what is going on, sir? There you go. I'd be selling 3 of them. Or sending them to CGC to sell, but that's just me. It's coming back in Loki too. I bet worth it 15. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The low end of the current price scale, you're probably okay. Probably worth it. the high end, I think you're paying too much. It's a very sexy cloth. You're projecting. Get it? Because she's a projection. No. So there you go. Yes, that would go for the Matrix. That's why, but I just don't think it's going to go near for what it was. All right, next, we got another cover. This is a cool Doctor Doom cover. I don't know that I did not even see this one when I was doing my Doctor Doom, Let's Collect. I did not think about this infamous Iron Man run, so I did not look at all these covers, but this is a sweet Doctor Doom cover. This is the Alex Maleev variant that's kind of hard to find, that people are finding at the moment, and it's caused it to jump to a $35, $40 cover. But it really wasn't going for much before that. There you go. Slam them for Loki 2 and sell it. There you go. Nice cover, man. It's never really been that thing. There's so many really good Doom covers. I'm not sure it really makes the list for me as one that I would think holds all time. There's a little buzz around it here. But I did notice they talked about, it being hard to find. And a bunch of them since that have popped up on eBay once it started selling and it hit the list. Like, there's a ton of listings right now. Well, not a ton, but several listings compared to what there was. So this strikes me completely as another I'll be back. It probably holds some value. Why are people calling me? Decline. I swear. Hang on. It's not going to work unless I tell. My nephew is probably calling me over and over again right now. And I've got to get him to stop long enough to text him and be like, he's going to keep doing it. And I know it's my nephew or niece. They won't stop calling. Gotta get a text message out. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's my niece or nephew, totally. Because it was my sister's number, but they're trying to FaceTime me, and it was totally them. So sorry about that. Oh, the dog is in here. Come here, Bubby. You just need to lay down. I know, you're gonna now the dog who was sleeping is in here and is gonna start barking. I have the feeling. Oh, where'd you going? All right, this could turn into quite the stream. So anyway, I'll be back on this one. Let's keep moving. So I know I'm a bad uncle because I didn't answer the phone, but you know. And now the dog. George, you are a punk. I was actually gonna answer it, George. So I talked to you on the stream. Oh my goodness. All right. Oh, good grief. Okay. So where were we at? Miles Morales 33. This variant, this is the 1 in 25 Matthias Mahini variant. So I'm on the list now for the third week in a row. This is the new Miles costume, which I don't particularly like. I can't see it lasting. It's kind of weird looking to me. This was at 40 week 1, which on a 1 in 25, I said, I'll be back if it's didn't make it to double. Well, by week 2, it had made it to more than double. Now it's up to $125. At this point, that would normally say, you should probably put it as worth it or straight cash. It's going to keep going probably. I'm still on the I'll be back train. I just don't see this costume lasting. So, yeah. It's fine, but I get Miles books go for crazy money, and some of the Miles variants go for crazy money, but this still seems too high to me. But I've been wrong on this book already so far, so I'll probably still be wrong on this book. So there you go. Our next cover is Harley Quinn number 10. This is a Rachka Lynn, 1 in 25. So this is an interesting one because there is a history here. Before she got any covers with the big 2, this was an artist that D. Runk and Kavi and I found at C2E2 back at the last con. And D-Runk and Kavi were smart enough and had enough of a budget to get sketch covers done by her. She's recently, this is like the third or fourth one she's done now for the big two, mostly DC, I think. But she seems to be the next, starting to get a little buzz like Momoko and Rose Besh and everything else. So this Rotchka's starting to get some cover. This is her first one to kind of hit the list, but it's only going for 40 on a 1 in 25. It's a cool Harley cover, but I would guess this is about right. At 40, my guess is I'm going to say this is worth it and not going to be much more than this. Hey, Ohana, what is going on? Yeah, D-Runk talking about the Miles costume needs to get lost at the thing. Well, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's right. It's cool and it's not for us. So there you go. But D-Runk thinks it's we lost at the thing. So I love the classic black costume for Miles for sure. Semi-Man. I just think it sits where it's at. Yeah, she's only had like this is like the third or fourth one. I know she had a Miracle Molly cover too. It's just kind of cool because she wasn't really known when we found her that day walking through Artist Alley and you guys got those sketch covers. So it is. I really like her style. I would love to have gotten a piece from her. I just didn't have the budget then, and probably should have since then because now they'll probably be way more than they were then. So. Yeah, it's 1 in 25. It's only going for 40, which typically means it sets somewhere. It'll end up setting somewhere just above ratio, but I'm going to say worth it. I think it holds around 40 bucks. There you go. Next, we got Power Rangers Universe #1, the Goni Motez 1 in 50. So stealing John Tyler Christopher's gig here with the negative space variant. This is Power Rangers. My guess is during this run, we're going to get every one of these like this. So we'll get green, we'll get pink, we'll get yellow. We'll get all the Rangers like this now that they've started doing this. This 1 in 50 is going for $70 to $75. So again, didn't make double ratio. Are we all like, am I the only one that's like been there, done that, like tired of these at this point? Like, how many of these are we going to do? They don't, like, when they first did them, they was cool. But it seems way overdone to me at this point. We're getting a thumbs down from D-Rock. It also is Power Rangers. Disco in the house. Good morning, sir. Happy New Year to you. Is that the Commie Ranger? I don't know. But it is, yeah, it's going for 70 to 75. Didn't make double ratio. My guess is it settles around ratio. I'm putting this also isn't all the back on this one for sure. So I guess I should be clicking on my thing. I kind of get distracted sometimes. Don't always click on my little logo. Next, we got Wonder Woman 83. This is kind of a modern gun and bondage cover. It's weird, like silver and golden, particularly pre-code horror bondage the covers go for big money. Early Wonder Woman bondage covers are highly sought after. You don't see that as much on modern stuff that being that sought after, but this one has had a jump here recently. Raw copies on this one are now going for 75 plus. 9.8 going for 300. Let's be real. Are you going to get we say modern, this is from 94? Would you get one now with her in chains and with a gun in her head? I don't think so. My guess is this one does not come back. This has been a slow build. There's no buzz. This doesn't do anything with a movie or anything else. This is people finding this cover and wanting it. I'm going to call this one, click the wrong thing. I'm going to call this one worth it. I don't know that it's straight cast. My guess is it's not Boland. It is not. It is. Now I don't remember. I wrote it down, but it is not a Boland cover. But at least I don't think so. I thought they said it was somebody else. But I don't know. It's not, to me, it's not even a great cover from that run. Like, and really says a bunch of the Boland covers are better. But just the nature of it, her in bondage with the gun, I would guess this one kind of holds for sure. Let's see what people are saying. For all the Kingsters out there, yeah, and they are definitely a portion of the collectors. I'm getting tired of them, but the Chase got canned on Boba Fett is a different story. Well, I don't know. I just feel like it's over. The negative space thing is overdone. I wish they'd keep it a little more rare for sure. All right, next. Strange Academy #2. So I guess there's some buzz in the book. Part of the story. This is kind of a cover / buzz, comic buzz, that Doyle and his dad are fighting or something. I guess he's had a big moment. I haven't been reading Strange Academy. I don't know what's going on here for sure. But the way they explained it, Doyle fighting his dad, causing buzz, not for that issue, but for this Doyle Dormammu cover, which I still haven't figured out how exactly he's supposed to really exist. But whatever. I haven't been reading Strange Academy. I probably should. People say it's good. But anyway, it's caused buzz for this cover of #2 with him on the cover. It's going for 60 to 80. This is not his first appearance. He appears in #1. 60 to 80 seems crazy for this. I know there's a lot of love for Strange Academy, and this is a variant. I can't see Doyle, like, maybe because I don't read it, I don't understand it. And the Timeless book. There you go. Okay. Well, we'll talk about Gaslamp here in a second. Bad Avenger says it is a bowling cover. I thought they said it was not. So, okay. Still don't think it's not one of his better ones in on that run. It's kind of a fun cover, but 60 to 80 just seems really crazy to me. I know they hold value because it's second appearance of all these characters. Maybe there's a first in here. I don't know, but they didn't list the first when I was looking at it. I wanted to put it as a trap at 60 to 80. I went with I'll Be Back just because I don't fully understand everything that's going on with Strange Academy, so I hate to be overly judgmental on that front. I think the cover A is better also for an issue 2. I just don't think this is that great. I want to say trap. I really do, but I feel like maybe I'm just like overly underestimating Strange Academy at this point. Depends on the cover, but yeah, it's more than some of the covers to A. It's basically what the A cover is going for. That's why I'm like, all right, you guys have talked me into it. I'm going to change it. I'm changing. I'm going with my original instinct. It's a trap. We're going there. It's too much. It's just like this again, more than what the #1 is going for. Even if it's a good book, why is it going for more than #1? This cover is not that rare. It's not that. Yeah. So we got to change our spreadsheet real quick. Okay. Next, people talked about this, mentioned it already. Strange Academy #14, the first full appearance of Gaslight? I wrote it down. Gaslamp. Is it Gaslamp? What did I say? Somebody else typed it in here. Did I type that right? Gaslamp, yes. So he is right about that. Came out when I run a lot of shops open, so maybe people didn't get it. Yeah, Gaslamp. I wrote it down, but then I was second guessing myself because I thought I'd read somebody write Gaslight in there in the chat, and then I was like, but no, we were both the same. We both had it as Gaslamp. This is going for 10 to 20, basically right out of the gate. A lot of buzz about this kind of Jack the Ripper looking magic drug dealer. Basically, he sells magic like drugs kind of thing character that this way they're describing. Seems like a cool new villain. Seems super interesting. Going for 10 to 20 right out the gate. Here's my thought on this. All of what happens typically with new villain characters. This is what happens. My guess is this book goes higher in the immediate future and in the follow-up to this story. Now, depending on how long that lasts will determine whether or not the 6 months I'm right on this or not. But as this story plays out, as he plays out in the next couple of issues, if he plays a big role, the book will probably go higher than it is right now. But then when his role disappears for a while, the book's going to come crashing down. Think Black Winter. Think blanking on some of the other, like that Dr. Fry that was in Immortal Hulk. I mean, I'm blanking on some other examples that I could give you, but like there's been several examples of this. Now, if he comes back, this will go back up. But my guess is it's going to go higher, probably depending on how well he's used. He'll go higher than this 10 to 20 that it's setting right now. Maybe as high as like 40 or 50. But in 6 months, it's going to be back down here around $10 to $20 because people aren't, because they won't continue to use the character consistently. He'll disappear for a while. People will forget. It won't necessarily make it be a game changer. My guess is, 10 to 20 is probably about right. I would still put it as an I'll be back because it looks like it's creeping up. Maybe it's not. Maybe it won't even go higher. Maybe I'm overestimating it to go higher, but I put it as an I'll be back. I don't think the risk here, if you wait on this, is not that high. I think just look for a good deal. Maybe this character really becomes something. Ohana's saying too highly printed to sustain a long-term run. I don't know. I did not check the print run on this. Hey, Entropy, what is going on? Who else? Phil has jumped in the house. It looks like it comes from a 90s image. It does kind of look from a 90s image book, for sure. We had Battle Chasers on here recently. It looks like a Battle Chasers cover or something that we're talking about. So, all right, next. This is a book that I think my man Unruly is. Well, this is the one book I predicted. And well, there's actually two books I think Unruly won't be. One or two. A couple of books on here Unruly probably won't be meh about, but this one I don't think he will be. And this is Miracle Man #1 from 1985. This is not his first appearance. This is the first appearance of the Alan Moore reboot as Miracle Man. So he was Marvel Man before this. Correct me if I'm wrong. My understanding is this is the first time he appears as Miracle Man, that they go with the Miracle Man name and not the Marvel Man name. So let me know if I'm wrong on that. So this one's hitting the list because there's been rumors, and I guess even in the Timeless book, did they show like the symbol, the Miracle Man symbol here? They showed it in the Timeless book. There's been rumors about them bringing him back because the rights to this character have been so messed up for so long. Like Marvel really hasn't used him. And so, but rumors a thing, and then there's rumors. Then Bleeding Cool just started a rumor on their own saying that it was going to be Kate, which Kate kind of laughed and responded to, well, I guess I better get to work. And people have jumped on that. Anyway, this caused a resurgence in this book. Raw copies are going for $20. 9.8s are going for $275. If they're bringing him back for real and we actually get full, like if we get solicitation and everything else, this book will go higher. I'm going to put it as worth it. I don't know that it goes a ton higher. I could be wrong on that. Yeah, it's a crazy, like trying to figure out the story behind the rights on this character are nuts. For sure. But Gaslamp makes the cover 15, so that'll probably go for a decent value. And really bought this new off the shelf. Nice. I'm going to say worth it on this one. I think this one probably, my guess is they wouldn't have put a symbol in the book if they weren't going to use him. My guess is something is coming. We'll probably get an announcement in a few months, which will put the 6-month thing probably about right for whenever this comes out. If it's a 2022 thing, that will have either the book or a solicitation for the book in 6 months, which means this will be this price or more. I'm going to put it as worth it. I do not actually know the difference in those books, Sam, so educate us all, because I have not known much about this. They make him an ongoing character. So anyway, my guess is that $20 for raw copies, 9.8s are probably, I think this is going to be worth it for sure. So, all right, I said that like 4 times, so time to move on. Next. Let's get some myths from Unruly. We got a Star Wars book, Tales of the Jedi #1. So this is on Tom's list for the second week in a row. Obviously, I didn't do this last week, so with Christmas and stuff, but on their list for the second week in a row, on the CBSI list this week. So it was on both lists this week. So basically what happened was Lucasfilm gave a gift to employees. It was like a record player, and it had a whole bunch of emblems, of different projects on the box, like The Mandalorian and blah blah blah, and Bad Batch and all kinds of stuff that they've been making stuff out of. Well, this is the only one that we didn't know was actually an ongoing property, which was Tales of the Jedi, that was on there. So people went nuts in buying this book. Raw $15 to $30, 9.8 going to 30 plus. There are copies again going 30 plus. 9.8 going 175 to 200. Yes, comic rumors based on a record player. Yeah, I would agree with that. No worries, Los. Happy to see you. I hope you had a wonderful evening. I hope you're having a good new year as well. So I'm still putting us solidly in the I'll be back category. Like, maybe we get an announcement of something. I think the rumor is it's actually like going to be some kind of like game or something. He's saying it's in pre-production. Like, I don't know that we've gotten anything official on that. I don't know. I'm putting this in and I'll be back. I could be wrong on these Star Wars things, but these tend to jump and then come back. I would say if you're on the lower end again, kind of like what was the book I talked about earlier, the Timeless book. If you're on the $15, $20 book, I would guess you're probably fine. If you're on the 30 plus, I would guess you're probably too high at the moment. People are going to forget about this record player until they make an official announcement, which maybe that happens in the next 6 months, and I'm wrong 6 months from now, that the announcement comes out 4 months from now of officially what this is and what's happening here. But yeah, I'm still putting this in and I'll be back. All right, next. Sam saying it's a trap. I mean, what are the odds they even use the same characters, even if they do a Tales of the Jedi project? And the Tales of the Jedi could be from any time period if they really wanted to. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I would do with this for sure. Is buy it, wait a month or two till there's no rumors and no news, and then try to get it is what I would try to do. But that could also mean if the announcement comes soon, you could be late, but I think you're okay. I think you're going to have time. Next. Back on the list, Edge of Spider-Verse #2, first appearance of Spider-Gwen. So this book had dropped 9.8. We're pushing $2,000 during much of last year. Had fallen back to almost 1,000. And now they're back 1,800 based on the trailer we got, which has been a while, but the trailer we got for, I forget now what they're calling Into the Spider-Verse, the second animated movie, that we're getting her again there, but also now rumors that there's going to be an Andrew Garfield. Sony wants to make the third Andrew Garfield movie, which I'm like, and that they're going to bring Emma Stone, that they want to bring Emma Stone back to be Spider-Gwen from it. And again, I'm like, what? Why? And I love Emma Stone. I love Spider-Gwen. But, like, why are we pushing a mid-30s Emma Stone? Or low 30s probably. She's not as old as I think she is. But she's not a teenager anymore as Spider-Gwen. Just start a new property and go with it and tell the story. I don't understand. Now, as far as this book is going to do a little bit of this, but this is where we got Street Cash. See, Unreally's going, yes, Emma Spider-Gwen. Yeah, a decade ago when she was 20-something. 30-something Emma is Spider-Gwen. I don't need the first Spider-Gwen movie to be 30-something Spider-Gwen. That doesn't make any sense to me. Still think long term, I think there's a straight cast. Over the next 6 months, you might be able to do a little better than this, but probably not a lot. I'm going to just call it worth it over the next. Actually, no. When's the movie come out? Spider-Verse is out before the end of the year, isn't it? Which means we'll get another trailer. We're going to get. I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to just stick with straight cash on this. Even on my prediction, I was going to say that there might be a lull like during the course of the year. Cougar Spider. Yeah, we're gonna get Cougar Spider-Gwen. And I love Emma Stone. I would love to see her in some stuff, but as an age-appropriate character, I feel like this story needs to start when she's younger, but maybe that's me. She's 33. Yeah, 33-year-old, which, okay. So here you go. If they get her signed on, whatever projects they have, whatever thing else, you're looking at another year to 18 months before they start filming. So she's going to be 34, 35 when they're filming the first one. That's not old. That's a perfect age for a ton of different characters that Emma Stone could play. And she should be in the movies for 50 years. It's old for Spider-Gwen. Like, I'm ageist on a particular character. I'm not ageist. Like, 33 is not old. Trust me, my birthday was yesterday. I'm old. I'm much older than her. But yeah, radioactivity makes her ageless. And, and maybe there's room for that. I just don't know that I want to see the very first Spider-Gwen project be older Spider-Gwen. Adult Spider-Gwen. How about we just go with adult instead of like her figuring it out? Like, it's one of the things you love about Spider-Man is him figuring it out. Now I'm okay with the older stories, but I want to like have a history with the character. Maybe I'm just dumb. I hope not. I felt like I hit a wall at 33, like front, so I can't say anything. So there you go. Well, if they're going to do animated, they would just continue to use Haley, I would assume, as the voice from the other one. So, yeah, like, because she's the voice on the other one. So I'd assume they would just use Haley for that. All right, next. Move on from Spider-Gwen. I already changed it to Street Cash. Speaking of Street Cash, Amazing Spider-Man 194, first appearance of Felicia Hardy as Black Cat. So there's rumors of Anya Taylor-Joy maybe being that they're going to bring Black Cat to the Spider-Man movies, that they're going to finally, they've talked about this over and over and over again. And that it's maybe Anya Taylor-Joy, which that doesn't seem like, I see a lot of fits for her. I'm not sure Black Cat would have been my first choice for Anya Taylor-Joy, but anyway. But here's the thing with this one. So that's caused a little bit of a bump in the book. 9.0s hit 650 to 750. 8.0 hit 500. This book, I'm going to stick with Straight Cash, even though there might be a lull if we don't get news. If we get news, then it's finally going to go through the roof. But this book has been creeping steadily and solidly for, we talked about this maybe last night on my live stream for a few minutes. This book has been climbing. 2 years ago, basically my copy arrived that I have, and I bought a 9.2 for under $200. Under. You can't touch it. You haven't been able to touch it for a long time. The book has been climbing steadily over the last 2 years, very consistently gaining, like all the time. With news, no news, doesn't matter. The book has been gaining. It was undervalued. Like a lot of Spider-Man books, it's been gaining. This is Straight Cash. I like her better as Magic, but I get that maybe by the time they actually get to the X-Men, she might be too old for Magic for the way they want to portray her. But I don't know. Maybe I haven't gotten over the past my thoughts that I would like to see her for. There's a couple other characters, but she wouldn't be terrible for it. No, by no means. I just see that was not the character I would have thought for her. So anyway, this is true. Great time for Black Cat to like jump in. So yeah, me too. I'm glad I got it when I did. All right, next. ASM 400. The Death of Aunt May. If you've seen the new movie, you know why this is hitting the list. Raw copies are only averaging like $10. 9.8 though hit 280. This didn't last in the books, in the comics, so Aunt May is still around in the comic books. And do we really expect any interest in this 6 months from now when we're removed from the movie? No, this isn't I'll Be Back. It's only reason it's not a trap is it's only averaging $10 for raw copies. This isn't I'll Be Back. No reason to buy it around the hype. Buy it whenever you can find. My guess is you could probably find this in back issue bins for a couple bucks. Pretty easy if you're willing to dig. It's an anniversary issue, which means they printed a ton of them. It's never really held much value because of that, because there's a ton of them out there. My guess is that people didn't pull them out of their back issue $2 bins to because of the movie. Come back for this one for sure. Well, man squared. There you go. Yeah, I hope that I hope she finally gets a chance to be on the screen. That would be awesome. They won't do that. People say this kind of stuff, and they got Gal Gadot, who is a skinny rail model, to play Wonder Woman, and she was great. And get a good actress who can get in some sort of shape, they'll make it work. For sure. So there you go. Yeah. You don't know who she is. Anya Taylor-Joy played Magic in the New Mutants movie. She played Beth Harmon in that the Queen's Gambit series that was super popular. She was just recently in a movie. She's been in a couple things. She's been in some commercials and stuff. You would probably know her if you've seen her, but yeah. All right, next. This book again. This book kills me. This book is a yo-yo. It's been on the list 15 times probably in the last couple of years. The Illuminati. They're going to do the Illuminati. Let's not forget that the Illuminati are Tony and Black Panther, who are already both gone. Reed Richards, Professor X, and Namor, which haven't appeared yet, and Doctor Strange. At least that was the original group in this book. My guess is we don't ever actually get an Illuminati. This is just... Yeah. It was always made no sense to me why Aunt May was so old in the comics if Peter was a teenager. Like, why they made her like a crippled, decrepit old lady, but that was just definitely. It's currently back up to $25 on average. 9.8 is going for $300. This book has been a yo-yo. It gets up here to $20 to $30, and then nobody thinks about it for a while, and you can get it. You can steal it. You can grab it for 15, 10 to 20. It drops back to 10 to 20. Then somebody gets a wild hair and talks about the Illuminati somewhere, and then it jumps back up to $20 to $30. And then now the 9.8s have been creeping up and have kind of gotten steady around 250, 300. I still put this as an I'll be back. This thing has been a yo-yo. It's a Dogecoin of comics. Maybe it eventually happens. We'll see. But Uncle Ben like older women. Yeah, we'll see. The fast life, Lord of Brooklyn. Oh no, it was all because like Stan Lee even talked about it. Like, but later he made her too old. But he was making her the old spinster aunt or whatever, and like that, it was a stereotype that he played into, and why he made her old when he shouldn't have actually made her that old. She should have been like in her 40s, 50s. Yeah. So, like Lee even talked about that Aunt May was too old, the way that she was portrayed. But anyway, next we got the New Avengers number 40. This is the first appearance of Ranky, the Skrull Queen. So this has hit the list a couple times. There was a lot of buzz back in the spring when we found out that Emilia Clarke was going to be part of the MCU, that maybe this is what she was going to be, the role she was going to have. Then Zoe Ashton signed on to be the villain in supposedly the villain in the Marvels movie, the second Captain Marvel movie. So everybody jumped that maybe she was going to portray this role. We know we're getting a Secret Invasion show. So my guess is we're getting the Skrull Queen at some point. this may or may not be this character, but this book has also been on a yo-yo. Currently, it's at 30, which is not that much higher than what it was going. It's mostly an increase in sales. This book has been sitting pretty solidly around $20. But this is another thing, kind of like the Illuminati book we just talked about. This book has been a yo-yo. It's gotten as high as 40, 50. It's dropped back to 10 to 20. It's back up to 30. At 30, it's probably fine, but I would guess, I don't think we're going to get an announcement anytime soon of who this is. I think we're getting a character, but who and when, I don't know. I would still think, I bet you could find of a possible villain. Yeah. I think you're going to be able to do better on this one at some point. I'm going to put this still in the I'll be back category for 6 months. Maybe we get an announcement around that time and I'm all wrong, but I'm putting this in the I'll be back. Oh, we're at 45 minutes. I'm not done. This show is going longer than normal. All right, next. Maybe because I had some interruptions in the beginning. Next, here's a book I don't think Unruly will go meh on. Marvel Spotlight number 5, first appearance of Ghost Rider. Raw copies are, according to Tom, which sometimes when they say these raw copy averages, I'm like, what? He's saying raw copy averages of 3,800. I didn't get a chance to check that. That seems maybe for like higher grade stuff, but maybe not. I guess a super high grade went for that ridiculous number back in the spring, or the summer. So that 9.8 went for, God, I don't even remember, but it was a huge number. 6.0 went for 2,300. So if you're paying 3,800 for a raw copy, it better be better than a 6.0. If it's 2,300. This is all based on the long-term rumors that we're getting Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness, which seems like a lot of characters we're supposed to be getting in that movie. But anyway, that we're going to get a version of the Ghost Rider. And Norman Reedus also has been playing up that he wants to be the Ghost Rider. He was reposting some images people made of like his face with like a burning skull on the other side, that he wants to be Johnny Blaze. So that's what caused this book to kind of hit the list this week. This is a straight cash book anyway, long term. At some point, we're going to get some version of the Ghost Rider. Who cares about that? The book it's a great character. It's a Bronze Age key. It's going to go up. It's going to continue to creep up. They may use the Hot Rod Rider instead. Okay, so that is the last book we're going to talk about. Is need to bring back Nicolas Cage. Oh God, this movies are bad. Hey J Hood, you're in time for the last book. Last book on the list is there's the other version that we just talked about. So there was a bunch of buzz early in the week. Norman Reedus' stuff about Johnny Blaze, and then Boss Logic posted an image like, "Oh, we need this. We need the Robbie Reyes version." So this is all new Ghost Rider number 1. First appearance of Robbie Reyes comes Ghost Rider. I will say I love the Charger version of the Ghost Rider thing. Maybe more. I know the bike is more classic, but I love that car. Maybe because I'm more of a car than a bike guy. But I love the Charger version of the Ghost Rider's ride. But Robbie Reyes, they were talking about that. So that's the other thing. Well, maybe we're going to get Robbie Reyes and Black Red. So this one, and Multiverse of Madness. So this one rose to it's going for $50 raw, 9.8 hitting 325 to 400. Well, he was, unruly saying Ghost Rider in a car is blasphemous. Come on, it's a freaking Charger on fire. It's awesome. He's not a happy fan. Anyway, other people, I don't know anything about the character. I just think the car looks cool. So there you go. So I put this also as an I'll be back. I don't think we're getting Ghost Rider and Multiverse of Madness. We're getting multiple versions of Doctor Strange based on the trailer. We're getting Scarlet Witch. We're getting America Chavez. We're getting Mordo back. We're getting I just don't know. I mean, they're talking about that we might get Professor X in Multiverse of Madness, and that might be where we get the X-Men, and we might get like all this stuff, and it's just like, how much crap are we going to shove in this movie? Did I think the car looks cool? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, you got time. Again, I'll be back on this one for sure. So there you go. Dr. Voodoo. Yeah, Brother Voodoo. We're supposed to be getting Brother Voodoo. Yeah. Supposed to get all these characters. I don't think we're getting all of them. I don't think we're getting this one. I'll be back on this one for sure. So that is this week's books. Took me forever. That's 50 minutes for a Cash or Crash, which is way too long. The Flaming Horse is kind of cool, but I like the Flaming Car more than the Flaming Horse. I get the bike is more iconic, trust me, but I just like the car. All right. Well, I'm very washed out. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Tonight, there's no whatever report. We sort of did that last night, although I didn't actually call it officially a whatever report. Whatever report in the new year is moving to Saturday nights because on Sunday nights we are playing D&D. I've been playing D&D on Sunday nights now for the last couple of years. It was on White Will Comics channel when he was the DM. It was on Big Will's channel when he was the DM. I am now the DM. We are playing Ghost at the Salt Marsh. Tonight is our session 0, so we're going to kick that off. So come hang out and join us for that. Tomorrow night, we're talking Lock and Key, Volume 6, the wrap-up of Lock and Key here on the Indie Show. And then Tuesday night, we got a little more Invincible. Get that where you can see it, because I don't have I got the let's check it off. And this is not a good like, yeah, no, that would be terrible. So anyway, those are the things I got coming up on the channel. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me, putting up with me for 50 minutes as I ramble, and we will catch you next time. Later, aggressively. If I can find the right button. Where's it at? There it is.